So, good morning. Not a very good morning for me because I hate waking up in the morning. But today we're driving the Mini Cooper S to Bombay. This is gonna be a review slash a vlog slash a kitta deti hai. We're basically trying to figure out everything about this car today. We're headed to a launch of K&K Karts today, where we're going to be unveiling the cart or something like that. But yeah, we've basically fit 4 people inside the Mini Cooper S and we're driving to Bombay. So this is going to be like a test of everything basically. Like, can you actually fit 4 people and go comfortably somewhere? Or is it just going to be like a daily driver for the city? So yeah, let's head to Bombay.
Mac and Jay.
So we're 50 kilometers into the journey, and if you've not understood from the footage that, yeah, we're bouncing all over the place. This thing is very stiff, and yeah, on the highway, I don't think its natural habitat whatsoever. The suspension is pretty stiff, you're bouncing all the time, even on this relatively smooth sort of tarmac. It is a little bit of a bouncy ride, but I think so the biggest BT that we have right now on the highway is the tire noise. It's very prominent and it's pretty annoying as well. You have to crank up the music to quite a high volume in order to balance out the NVH levels. But apart from that, I mean, it's driving like any other car. We're still checking out the fuel efficiency. We've been mainly driving on cruise control itself, so we've gotten, I think so, down to like 20 kmpl. It's 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers, so I think so we're around the ballpark of 20 kmpl. But yeah, it's little bit of mixed feelings for now. I'm sure this thing will be amazing to drive once you take it to the ghats or something. But yeah, for now, it's a little bit of a pain, but I think we'll get through it without any problems. As we entered Lonavala, I had high expectations from the Mini Cooper S because we were entering the Ghats. Knowing that the Mini is renowned for its exceptional handling, I'm pleased to report that the new model lives up to the predecessor's standards. The car's confident handling, responsive steering, and agile chassis made cornering a breeze. Even the stiff suspension, which I initially found a little uncomfortable, proved to be a non-issue as the car glided through turns with ease. The 2-liter turbocharged engine paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission delivered impressive performance, making overtaking a straightforward task. However, my experience wasn't entirely flawless, and I do have some complaints about the Mini. So we're about 100 kilometers into the journey and I have some good news to report. The car is giving 20 kmpl plus, which is a big plus point. But one thing that I'm a little bit mad about Mini is that the FASTag is not working and we're having to pay double tolls for no reason at all. But apart from that, yeah, the car is doing all right. I wouldn't say it's the best highway cruiser. Like I said, tire noise is pretty prominent. The suspension is pretty bouncy and jittery. But I think so if you're using it in the city on a daily basis, I think so that's where the car will really shine. I mean, I have a few more complaints. I don't want to sound overly negative because this is a pretty cool car, but there are some things that I really do want to point out. Stuff like the steering wheel does not come with paddle shifters. very annoying, especially because this is a Mini Cooper S, and if I want to drive it in a spirited manner, I want paddle shifters on my steering. No clue why Mini Cooper has not given it. Another complaint that I have is the cruise control setting. So there is no way to resume the cruise control on the speed that you had previously set it at. So whenever you press the brake and the cruise control gets deactivated, there is no way to resume it at the speed that you had set it at previously. If you had set it at, let's say, 95 kilometers an hour, if you press set, it will set it at the speed that you're going at the moment. So there is no other way to, like engage it at the previous speed set. Again, pretty annoying in my opinion. But I think so this car will be really amazing to drive in the ghats. It has something called as go-kart mode, which is very interesting. It has a whole bunch of modes. In fact, I think so 10 different modes, which don't really do much apart from, change the color of the screen or something. But yeah, I think so we're heading into the city now. So let's see how easy it is to drive a Mini Cooper S inside the city. So we have taken a wrong turn, and since we're in Bombay, bro, I again don't know where the go, bro.
Right.
No, left. Keep left for city side. Nah?
Yes.
Okay. No. I have no idea, bro. at this point.
Arrivals and then you can leave.
We need to go back onto that road.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing.
I'm doing that only, no? Okay. So as you can see, yeah, it's a bit of a confusion right now. Now where
Right.
we have no idea.
McDonald's go there.
McDonald's?
Like
No, bro, it
to
takes a lot of time. This one though takes. Bro, they charge $500 for parking, bro. That day Tanay paid $500 in the High Rider Toyota. So as you can see, yeah, it's a complete chaos right now. We have no idea where we're going. We missed a turn and we somehow ended up at the airport. So yeah, not too sure. It's added like 10-15 minutes to our total journey, which is kind of a BT because we're reaching there quite cut to cut, but I'm tempted to stop at McDonald's, man. Nice Mac crispy chicken burger. क्या है ये शोरदार crunch?
Shurdar Crunch.
Crazy. So we've reached the location, and since this is a Mini, we have to now demonstrate how the rear passengers come out, and we'll ask them their review as to how the journey was. Are you ready? Bhavnit, are you ready?
Yes.
Was that comfortable?
Yes, maybe.
Okay, move. Why did you come out of here? Could have opened that door. Wait, just. Okay. So how was journey? Was it comfortable?
Everything below my neck is in pain.
Okay. This does not have that center exit exhaust.
No.
Oh, crazy. Okay, let's go to event and we will catch up after that.
A few moments later.
So we're just done with the event. I'm pretty sure you've already seen the reel on our Instagram page. It's भाई वो इतना lean क्यों मार के गया? Crazy lean मारा वो. So the reel was about K&K carts and their new cart that they unveiled. Cool little event. But now we're going and picking up a Laura for Generation Speed, which you've already seen. But yeah, this video is like 15 days before, shot 15 days before. So yeah, the Mini is blazing hot on the inside, but the AC is pretty powerful. I'm on max AC mode, so it's cooled down pretty much. The roof is black, so yeah, it gets pretty hot pretty quickly, but yeah, I think so the cooling and everything is pretty nice. So let's head to BKC. It's a 31-minute drive from Goregaon, and once we've picked up the Laura, we'll talk a little bit more. we've just stopped for a quick bite. This is this really cool Frankie guy over here. We've always come to him for like the last 3-4 years. The Mini Cooper is giving roughly around 15.1 kmph, which is actually not bad because the amount of traffic we've been through, 4 people inside the car, and again it being a petrol car, you know, that sort of fuel efficiency is actually not bad. I just quickly switched over to the 2-liter swapped Laura because I mean, why not? So I think so I'm going to be driving the Laura for the rest of the journey. Bhavneet will be in the Mini Cooper, so some of the updates will be given by Bhavneet. But I think so most of the video will now be continued in Pune. And once we reach Pune, we'll give you a proper update on as to how much fuel or what sort of fuel consumption the Mini Cooper is showing on the MID. After a long morning, our team was exhausted and all we wanted to do was head back to the office. With the Laura 2-liter DQ250 swap in the convoy with the punchy little Mini Cooper S, we blasted our way to Pune via Mexico to reach the office in no time. With generation speed just around the corner, the entire team dove head first into that preparation. But don't worry, we haven't forgotten about the Mini. Before sharing our fuel economy findings, I wanted to discuss the significant design changes the Mini has undergone compared to the previous generations. In terms of the looks, this is one of the most radical design changes in terms of a Mini. I mean, almost all Minis before this have been pretty similar, or it's just been an evolutionary design. But I think so this particular design is the biggest jump. From the front end, yes, it does look pretty similar to the ones that have come before. You have the iconic grille, you have the iconic lights, but the DRLs inside the lights now illuminate differently. These two horizontal slats are now what illuminate, not this massive circle. Although that also does illuminate from time to time. But this front end looks pretty similar, and of course it's finished in this Mr. Bean kind of color with the black rooftop, a very iconic look. But if you head towards the back, that is where the biggest change has occurred. The lights look completely different from any of the tail lights that the previous Minis used to have. Now I know in the Instagram story we said that the Union Jack design is now gone, but that is only when the lights are not illuminated. Once they're on, they of course represent the Union Jack, which is UK's national flag. And at the back, I think so that is where the biggest changes happen. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let us know in the comments down below. Let's head over to the interior. The interior has also changed quite a bit. Previous Minis used to get an instrument cluster up in front, but that has now completely been removed. Now you get this massive screen in the middle, which is like a giant disc, and it basically has all of your controls. Everything from your speedometer, rev counter, to even stuff like Apple CarPlay, changing your driving modes, even your AC controls. And that does get quite annoying because it's a very fiddly system. And I think so there are so many things crammed into this single system that it does get slow from time to time. But the graphics are point on, and yeah, like the design and the minimalism of the system itself is very, very good looking. But I am going to complain a little bit because I want a nice analog rev counter or speedometer in the front, or else give me something in the front, a screen, a dial, a cluster, something, because this up in front is too empty. Yes, you do get a heads-up display, but it just doesn't hit the same. The steering wheel has completely changed, and if you can see, it's all, you know, this eco-friendly kind of material. It's technically a 3-spoke because you have this little strap in the middle made of cloth. Looks pretty nice. The interior overall is pretty nice. It shares a lot of components with the new 2 Series and the new X1. But I think so, if you're looking at a car which is costing anywhere between 45 to 60 lakhs, I think so this interior can be improved a little bit. But the back seats are pretty usable. The seats are very nice. And I think so it's perfect for someone who's living in LA or London or something, because this is a proper wife car kind of thing. So what about fuel economy? Well, unfortunately, somehow the trip got reset on its own after we reached Pune. But what we can tell you is that the Mini throughout the trip back to Pune was getting an average consumption of around 13 kilometers per litre. Now on the way back, we weren't exactly going slow, and we were driving in a moderately spirited manner. But if you drive it sanely, you can expect around 18 to 20 kmpl on the highway and a decent 9 to 11 kmpl in the city. Of course, all of us were having fun, thus the 8 kmpl number, which in my opinion is quite decent as well. And this is only city driving. But if you are buying the Mini Cooper S, you shouldn't really be looking at the fuel economy numbers. What you are buying the car for is making a statement. Everyone looks at the Mini and goes, wow, that man is living his life. And with this brand new updated look, I feel that this Mini Cooper S makes a pretty good statement. It's the perfect car if you're a bachelor and you want to roam around the town yourself. Or even if you have a wife and you want to be the passenger princess. Because let's be honest, we all deserve to be a passenger princess once in a while. Overall, the Mini has gotten an evolutionary change, but it's a pretty big jump. The tail light and the rear end of the car has been completely redesigned. It looks very modern, very radical now. The front end still has that classic look, and in this particular spec, well, it looks like Mr. Bean's car. So yeah, I think so. I really dig this look. In the interior, you now have eco-friendly materials. You have a completely new dashboard design, new tech, and everything is very modern and, you know, very Los Angeles, if you know what I mean. This is the perfect car if you want to just ponder around town, have a statement, and, you know, just look good, because it's a pretty practical daily, but at whatever the price is, I mean, it's a very expensive buy, and at that price point, it definitely becomes like a toy. Thank you so much for watching this video. The Mini Cooper S has been really amazing. It's a cool little car to have, and I think so, if I was like a millionaire or something and I had to get around town, I would probably get the JCW version of this. So let us know in the comments down below what you think of the Mini Cooper S, and I'll catch you in the next one.